about refrigerator Perry and just how hard he hit. And my mama told me homecoming games are the best on the banks of those late fall, late cartwheel sunsets. I wanted to be just like Jeff Davis when I grew up, tackling Seminoles and Bulldogs, playing football in the mud. So everybody sing Tiger Rag at the top of your lungs, and we'll party like it's 1981. Make those Death Valley lights shine brighter. And for good luck, we got Howard's Rock to beat the hell out of them old Gamecocks. It's a damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. I feel really sorry for our sisters to the south, 'cause they come up here every other year and get punched in the mouth. Oh, and every home Saturday, it gives us the chills to watch those boys in orange run together down that hill. So everybody sing Tiger Rag at the top of your lungs, and we'll party like it's 1981. Make those Death Valley lights shine brighter. And for good luck, we got Howard's Rock to beat the hell out of them old Gamecocks. It's a damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. Oh, somewhere up in heaven, Gaines Adams makes us sad, and that old Banks McFadden is the best damn running back. So everybody sing Tiger Rag at the top of your lungs, and we'll party like it's 1981. Make those Death Valley lights shine brighter. And for good luck, we got Howard's Rock to beat the hell out of them old Gamecocks. It's a damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. It's a damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. Everybody, damn good day to be a Clemson Tiger. Oh yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Friday night to everybody. Keeping the Panthers screen up because they're playing right now. I'm watching it. Listen, the reason I'm doing this stream, just got back from dinner. It was amazing and fantastic. Before I get into the chat, I just want to say I did a stream earlier today, and I had a lot of people messaging me telling me that they did not get a notification. I don't know why that is, but whatever, it is what it is. But apparently you all seem to have been so far getting the notifications. So let me say hello to everybody real quick. Let me scroll back up. SEC Football Tube, good afternoon, sir. Tiger Nation, Prince 6'1", Billy Dawson. Yeah. Excuse me. Thanks, everybody, for stopping in. Is anybody else watching this game? I was at the Carolina Ale House eating and watching the game, and I just got home literally 10 minutes ago, and it looks like Carolina's losing. I did see the last play I saw was the interception that Cam Newton threw, which was a terrible interception. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what's up with the notification thing. Tennessee Fan Club, good afternoon, sir. Yeah, we'll see how that works out with you. Anyway, so one thing I do want to talk about because it's funny. Miranda Dansby, good afternoon, ma'am. Yeah, I almost called you sir, but I'm glad I didn't because that would have been weird. So Billy Dawson sent me something on Twitter. Billy, thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and Cam Newton's overrated for an NFL MVP with 5 division titles and a Super Bowl appearance. You're right, sir. He definitely is. Let's see here. Billy Dawson sent me this thing about, has anybody seen this latest news coming out of Ohio State and Urban Meyer? So I'm just going to read it to you because Well, first of all, I want to give you a disclaimer. If you have kids listening, don't let them listen. Either that or close the stream down, whatever you got to do. And it's too much for me to say without reading it. So I'm going to read it. And then we can get your reaction, which I'm sure will be amazing and fantastic. Former Ohio State assistant football coach Zach Smith reportedly had $2,200 worth of sex toys, male apparel, and photography equipment delivered to the program's headquarters during a 4-month period in 2015. Now, this isn't a tenth of the story even. But I gotta respond to that first paragraph. $2,200 worth of sex toys? I mean, I'm pretty sure. I gotta watch what I say here. I mean, I can't even get into that. This is a family show, I hope. I have so much to say about $2,200 worth of sex toys. How's that even possible? All right, we'll go to the next one. According to documents and receipts obtained by Stadium's Brett McMurphy, the orders were shipped to Zach Smith, Woody Hayes Athletic Center, which is funny, 535 Irving Scottsdale, blah, blah, blah. Furthermore, Smith's ex-wife, Courtney, said Smith took multiple photos of his penis inside the Ohio State coach's office, inside the White House, when the Buckeyes visited there in 2015, and also photographed himself in the coach's office receiving oral sex and having sex with an Ohio State University staffer. So, first of all, is this guy having a party or what? Where's the cocaine and heroin at? I don't know. That's the only thing missing from this. $2,200 worth of sex toys. More oral sex in the White House than Bill Clinton, and photographing it. Let's see what else they got here. This is unbelievable if this is true. I'm just the messenger, okay? No, don't shoot the messenger. All right. McMurphy reportedly obtained these copies of these photos, which have not been published, including the White House pictures taken in April 20th, 2015. Murphy reported Smith's penis is visible when he is in the same suit he wore to the ceremony in the photo, while other depicts his genitals and the bathroom towel that shows the seal of the President of the United States. Homeboy was taking sex photos, making sure he got the presidential seal in the background. I mean, this dude is. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I would probably hang out with this guy. He seems like a party. Yeah, I'm not even lying. Seriously, this dude is awesome. Let's say. I don't advocate beating women. Outside of that, he's a fun dude. It's pretty much as simple as that. And I know I'll get to your guys' comments here in a second. I got to finish reading this. This is the most unbelievable thing I've read all year. Let's see here. So he took pictures of the presidential seal on his dick. Ohio State fired Smith on July 23rd after McMurphy published a report detailing domestic violence allegations, blah, blah, blah. Buckeyes head coach Urban Meyer later denied knowledge of the 2015 allegations against Smith during a press conference in the Big Ten Media Days. We all know how it goes from there. Yada, 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 even. So I don't know what this has to do with the price and tea in China. Because, I mean, as far as I know, Urban Meyer's not responsible for this guy sex toy problem and, taking pictures of himself getting head in the Oval Office or the bathroom even. I don't know what that has to do with anything. But it is still a compelling story and definitely clickbait for sure. So let me see who else is joined here. Let's see. Brody L. Good afternoon, sir. Our resident Notre Dame fan. Pact fan, Air Max the Legend Killers in the house. Go 1330. Good afternoon, sir. 19 Savage even. Hello, sir. How are you? I know you're amazing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. So let's see if I can. What in the hell is going on with this chat? technical difficulties going on here. Yeah. Let's see here. Prince 6'1". I'm not going to read that. Let's see here. Go 1330 says, "Damn, he's the Greek god." What's up, dude? What are you doing? What happened to your stickers?
I took off.
You took them off?
Yeah.
Where'd they go?
On the couch.
On the couch? Oh, you gonna go get them?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Pete Jr. checking in there. I can't talk about what we were talking about as long as he's around. That would be appropriate. So I'm waiting for him to leave. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so anyways. So, does anybody have any thoughts on that other than the obvious? I've read it 3 times and I laugh harder every time I read it. $2,200 worth of sex toys. How does that happen? I'm being serious. I mean, you get that's some serious stuff going on there. This guy's got power tools for days going on. He's got the best of the best. He's got the gold card at the local sex shop apparently. So. I don't know what you're talking about. Tennessee fans trolling as usual. That's what he's good at. So that's some AA meetings after that. Oh man, here's what I told my my father-in-law whenever we were at the restaurant when I read that, when Billy Dawson sent me that that link to that news report, and we were laughing our asses off first of all. But I told him, I said that's exactly what led to the domestic violence. Like his wife found out about all this crap that he's doing, and you know, I guess found out he was cheating and taking pictures of it, and it clearly ensued in fighting, and the rest is history. So, yeah. You're saying it's freezing up? Oh, did I miss it? Who scored? I see Carolina scored. But so this is a good time to mention this because I will be starting September 1st doing the streams for primetime college games, and this whole setup is going to change. So my TV is over here. So obviously I'm not going to be sitting here during my streams. I'm going to have to park my butt on the couch and look this way. So the whole scene, I got a lot of work to do between now and then. Not that you care, just letting you know, just in case you do care. So I don't know why it's freezing up. It's showing a full stream health on my end. I apologize. I don't know what that's all about. Ian Thomas scored. The tight end out of Indiana. Yes, he was one of my favorite pickups, and they got him in like the 4th or 5th round, right? A hell of a steal. That dude is a beast. He's huge, and he's a hell of an athlete. Too bad he played for Indiana, but I'm glad he did, because if he didn't, he wouldn't have went so far down in the draft. Brock Osweiler still plays football. Oh, what a joke. Let me tell you something right now. Tennessee fan club, you can troll me all you want. I don't care. But you're really just starting to annoy me. I'm really on the verge of just deleting you, sir. Nobody delete him. I'm just telling you. I'm on the verge of doing it myself. If you continue to tell me to take my hat and glasses off and stuff like that, if you can't add anything of substance to the stream, then I don't want you here. If you want to talk about football and troll me about football, go ahead. Stop talking about my hat and my glasses. I'm really starting to get sick of it. That's your first and only warning. I promise you, one more time and you're gone. Let's see here. If South Carolina loses to Kentucky, every South Carolina fan here must have their profile pic changed to Kentucky logo. What's up, Dennis Wilson? How you doing, sir? Good afternoon and welcome to the stream. My favorite troll. Dennis Wilson, you need to teach this Tennessee fan club guy a lesson on how to troll. Dennis Wilson is a pro at trolling. Yeah. I think there also should be a Clemson Ale House. Yeah. There is a Carolina Ale House in Greenville, which is basically Clemson. Tiger Nation, he sounded like he has a crush on you. Yeah, yeah, I know. He's a little weird. That's all I'm gonna say. A little weird. Nick Bro, what's going on, man? How you doing, sir? Nick Bro, if you're just joining the stream, you might want to go back and watch the first half where we talked about $2,400 worth of sex toys. The first and last time you'll ever hear me talking about that on this show. Nonetheless, it was definitely compelling and amazing. So, yes, you are a troll, sir. You hear that? Uh-oh. Mrs. Pete is getting serious down there. That's how you know it's over with the kids. How much on flowers do you think Urban Meyer gave to Maryland? He probably spent his whole first game check on that. I don't even want to joke about that too much because, you know, I don't like to joke about the Maryland thing for obvious reasons. But yes, that Urban Meyer was definitely, I don't want to say fortunate, but fortunate that this Maryland thing happened. It completely took the heat off of him because what's going on at Maryland obviously is much more of a serious situation than what's going on in Ohio State, right? I mean, sex toys and blowjobs in the White House are nothing compared to somebody actually losing their life. So obviously the media is going to focus more on the more serious situation. And ever since that Maryland thing has happened, haven't heard a whole lot about Urban Meyer until today, until this new thing came out. But at the end of the day, this story that came out it's just salacious, isn't it? I mean, we were having a good laugh about it, and it's weird, it's crazy that he would spend $2,400 on sex toys and take pictures of his junk while he's getting favors done, we'll say. But how is that Urban Meyer's fault? Like, that's, first of all, nothing he did. Buying sex toys and getting head is not illegal. Last time I checked. Now, beating your wife is illegal, but nothing in that article is illegal, right? So why is that Urban Meyer's problem that this guy is having a party in or out of the White House? No, it doesn't. That has nothing to do with this. Has nothing to do with Urban Meyer's thing, but it's still funny. Hey Pete, has Dabo talked about scheduling Furman and does lower division schools? I don't understand your question. So if you want to talk about scheduling, the way this thing works. So what Dabo does as far as scheduling is here's the thing. The ACC and the SEC are almost identical in the way that they schedule. They play the same amount of conference games, where the Big Ten and the Big 12 play more conference games. The SEC and the ACC play one less conference game, but they all schedule a Power 5 out-of-conference game that's not a rival. For instance, so Clemson plays 2 Power 5 out-of-conference games every year. They play South Carolina, obviously, as a rivalry, and then they play another SEC team every year, or have for recently. Recently, if it's not an SEC team, and it'll be a Big 12 or a Pac-12 or whatever team. And then they schedule 2 cupcakes. One of those should be probably filled in by a conference game. I'm not going to, in my opinion, it should be. So the fact that there's different amount of teams in every conference, in most conferences, and the way that they schedule these things is slightly different. So at the end of the day, basically what I'm getting at is you can have, for the Pac-12, for instance, the Pac-12 may play 9 conference games as opposed to 8, but they are not required to schedule a Power 5 non-conference game. If you're in the ACC, you are required. If you're in the SEC, you are required to do that. So that's the difference. So people bag on Alabama and Clemson for scheduling a couple of cupcakes, but their conference isn't not requiring them to schedule a non-conference Power 5 team like the ACC and the SEC are. It all gets very convoluted and confusing. But there is ways to fix this. We don't have enough time in the stream for me to even go into all that. There's about 10 different scenarios you could change to make this, in my mind, uniform across the NCAA. And certainly throughout the Power 5 conferences, where they could all play the same, all set the same standards. Right now, all the conferences make their own rules on scheduling. That's the problem. I'm for uniformity across the board. Everybody plays the same amount of conference games. Everybody's required to schedule a certain amount of non-conference Power 5 games, et cetera, et cetera. That's not the way it works right now. With the politics involved, it may not happen in the next 10 or 15 years. Probably won't. These conferences don't work well together. They're like politicians from different political parties. They hate each other, and they always want to one-up each other and put the other one down. And it's all politics and money and TV and blah, blah, blah. It's just a big clusterfuck. So. Tennessee Fan Club. That's your last straw, sir. See ya. See ya, buddy. Tennessee Fan Club. See ya, buddy. Fucking guy. What's up, Ryan Stanfield? Good afternoon, sir. Happy Friday, sir. Billy Dawson, you already were in here. Marco Polo. I haven't seen Marco Polo in here since last football season. That's how you know it's football season again? When people like Marco Polo show back up. Good afternoon, Marco Polo. I swear it's been at least 6 months since I've seen your name in my streams. Ryan Stanfield, when is I don't want to offend you like I said last time. When is your girlfriend supposed to have that baby? She's been pregnant for a normal human pregnancy is 9 months, sir. She's been pregnant for at least 16 months. Are you an alien? I don't know what's going on. Do you have alien sperm? Something's not right with that. She's breeding something other than a human inside of there. Yeah. What's up, college football expert? How you doing, sir? College football expert says unbiased opinion. Alabama goes 5-7. Yeah, clearly, that's an unbiased opinion. Nobody can argue with that. Yeah. She's due this Wednesday. I'm not a math major or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's like 5 days away. Right? 7 days in a week. Wednesday's 5 days from now. Yeah, I think I'm right on that. Believe me, if I was wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm pretty sure 5 days is what it is. Purdue playing Northwestern is going to be fun. I think Northwestern is going to be really good this year. They're going to surprise a lot of people. Has anybody seen the new facilities at Northwestern? Amazing. Especially for Northwestern, and I'm not putting down Northwestern, but let's be real. Northwestern is not exactly a perennial juggernaut in college football. But the amount of money that they spent on that athletic complex that's right on the lake. It's beautiful. It's really awesome. I saw a whole thing on TV about it where they did a tour of it. Lots of schools spend a lot of money on facilities right now. And Northwestern's is definitely up there with the best of them. Man, I must be lagging because College Football Maniac got rid of Tennessee before Pete said something. No, I got rid of him, sir. So, yeah, he just... I don't have a whole lot of rules here. I gave him about 15 different warnings to at least attempt to be funny or original or something, add something to the stream instead of just being a complete moron, and he just could not listen and follow instructions. Something tells me he's never listened or followed a single instruction his entire life. I've let him come on here for 3 days straight now and give him the benefit of the doubt, and it just got to be too much. What are you guys doing? I'm trying to get him. I mean, it sounds like somebody's getting murdered back there. Clem Tiger, good afternoon, sir. Haven't seen you in a while either. Excuse me for a second. Yeah. Had to lay the wood down there. Sorry about that. What's up, Wrong on Purpose? I mean, Prince. The artist formerly known as Drake Luke is in the house. Yeah. I'm not gonna bust anybody's ass. I just had to lay the daddy wood down a little bit. You know how that goes. For all my dads out there. The Angry Toddler in the house. Good afternoon, Angry Toddler. I just dealt with a couple of angry toddlers. Right on time, sir. You must be a psychic, a genius even, maybe a magician. I don't know. So. Daryl Hazel's coaching pedigree. I told you that story, Pac fan. I met that Purdue football player that played for Daryl Hazel. Which, by the way, Daryl Hazel, what was his record at Purdue as a head coach? -5 in 100, something like that. I don't know. It might be the worst head coaching football record in the history of all college football. I'm not sure. But it was very close to whatever I said. 9-39. Holy crap! How did they even get to 39 losses? Why didn't they fire him after 30? I mean, What's up, Josh? I'm assuming it's Josh from the Sports Fury. The Sports Fury in the house. Everybody, if you don't know who they are, of course, you better know them. If you don't know them, go check them out. And they're posting an epic amount of videos leading up to the NFL season right now, previewing every single division and every single team. Believe me, as somebody who makes videos, that is a very time-consuming feat, and I know they have full-time jobs and they do that, and they're excellent at what they do. Nothing but mad respect for what they do. So, thank you for joining the stream, sir, and good afternoon and happy Friday. And I'm sure that Josh is. Josh is probably at work, but if he's not, I'm sure he's watching this game between the Panthers and the Dolphins. If not, he's maybe watching the Browns game. Yeah. Marco Polo says Ryan Finley is the best returning quarterback. I'm assuming you're talking about the best returning quarterback in the ACC, and I definitely agree with you, sir. It's not even close. Ryan Finley's an NFL quarterback. Ryan Finley led the ACC in every passing stat last year. The problem with Ryan Finley is last year he didn't have a whole lot of offensive weapons. NC State's defense was elite. They lost a lot off their defense. They're going to take a step back in defense. But this year, outside of Clemson, they have the second best wide receiver core in the ACC. I think that Ryan Finley is going to have a monster year at NC State, which is why I go around saying is on Clemson's schedule, there's two teams that scare me. Neither one of them is named Texas A&M. Neither one of them is named South Carolina. Florida State and NC State scare me. Florida State scares me because it's Florida State and they have the talent to beat anybody. We just don't know about the coaching yet. But NC State has what it takes to beat anybody on any given day. And they scare me. And they have Ryan Finley. And quarterback play in the ACC is paramount. The team that wins the ACC 8 out of the last 10 years has the best quarterback in the ACC. NC State scares me. People say I'm stupid and I'm crazy. People that say I'm stupid and I'm crazy clearly have not watched NC State Clemson games for the past 10 years because they're always close. Falcons Fury, good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Pete, honest question. Who are y'all's quarterbacks? Did y'all draft anyone? Are you talking about the Panthers? We lost our longtime backup, Anderson, who was one of the best backups in the NFL. Listen, I'll go ahead and admit this to you right now, Falcons Fury, and anybody else who hates the Panthers out there. We have a backup quarterback problem right now. If Cam Newton gets hurt, I don't know what we're going to do. Excuse me. I hate burping on microphone. If we lose Cam Newton, that's going to be a major, major problem for the Panthers this year. They have their backups, let's say, aren't very good. I was trying to find a way to put it better than that. Just can't do that. They're not anybody that can start for anywhere. Losing Anderson was a big blow to us. So that does worry me a little bit that we don't have somebody that can fill in for 2 or 3 games if that's what's needed and win. I'm not confident in that at all. 19 Savage says Lance and Jasper is live. 19 Savage, if I gave 2 less of fucks, then I wouldn't have any fucks left to give. So no, I nobody cares, sir. Yeah. How do you even prepare for Deshaun Watson? Yeah, Deshaun Watson is going to be. I'm going to say that Deshaun Watson's going to be the second, and I know I'm about to get some backlash for this one, the second best quarterback in the AFC this year. That's right. Write it down, tattoo it, whatever you got to do. Deshaun Watson will be the second best quarterback in the AFC this year, not the NFC. Best quarterback in the ACC, Ryan Finley. Best quarterbacks in the SEC, Drew Lock, Jake Fromm, Jared Stidham. Best quarterbacks in the Big 12, Sean Robinson and Will Greer. Best quarterback in the Big 10, Trace McSorley. You know what? I would agree with pretty much everything that you just said, Air Max Legend Killer, which is pretty rare that I would agree with you on everything you say, since I very rarely agree with you on anything, as a matter of fact. But there is one quarterback you left out of there, from the ACC in particular. Both Clemson quarterbacks, Kelly Bryant or Trevor Lawrence. Now, I realize Lawrence hadn't played a snap yet in a live game. But listen, he's definitely on that list. And I'm just saying, yeah. Thank you, Josh. Josh is big time supporter of me, and shares my videos, comments on it, everything. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And by the way, sir, the video that we did came out fantastic. I thought. I'm biased because I was in it, but either way, I still thought it came out fantastic. And that's because of you guys, not me. Because what you guys do is fantastic. Yeah. You're lagging bad. I don't get that. I get some people telling me that they're lagging, other people telling me that they're not lagging. I don't know what to tell you. If I could shove, what are they? A 1980s rabbit ears. The rabbit ears you used to stick on your TV to get reception. If I could shove that up my ass right now to get better reception for you guys, I would, but I can't. So. I don't know what else to tell you. It is what it is. Am I going to any Clemson games this year? Good afternoon, Clemson fan, by the way. Yes. Well, I'm still trying to work that out. As a matter of fact, I might be going to a game with Prince 6'1". We were Prince 6'1". I'll get with you later after I get off stream, sir. Because my wife was asking me last night about what we talked about, but I don't want to bore everybody with that. But I'll get in touch with you when I get off stream about it. But yeah, the answer to the very long-winded answer is yes. I'm going to a Clemson game this year. I always go to at least one, sometimes two, every single year. So let's see. Pac fan says he's going to Ohio State versus Purdue. Oof. I'm assuming that game's in Purdue, and that is going to be a major ass kicking, sir. I'm sorry to say, just is. Thanks, Go 1330. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining the stream. Have an amazing weekend. Comic Dude 45 says, Pete, are you excited to see the Clemson marching band along with the football team? I don't know what you're saying. Am I ever excited to see the marching band? Not really. I mean, I know that you're in a band, so I don't want to insult you, sir. Yeah, listen, I got respect for bands and what they do. I don't go to the football game to see the band, although I do like the way that each team has their own little sort of like between plays. They have their own sort of little thing that they play, which is cool, which is one of the things that makes college football unique. So, yeah. Ryan Stanfield says he might go to the Louisiana Tech and South Alabama game. That sounds like a good game. Want to hear another joke, Pigskin? Since 2000, Purdue has beat Ohio State more times than Michigan. Well, that would be funny if it were a joke, but it's a fact, sir. But I'm crazy. I'm crazy when I say that Michigan fans are delusional and that Michigan fans are out of their mind and haven't won shit since Reagan was president. Maybe Clinton, I don't know. But really, they haven't. And that just proves it. That's not even a joke, is it, sir? Purdue has beat Ohio State more times than Michigan has in the past 20 years. I almost guarantee that's a fact. Miranda Dansby says she wishes she could go to a Clemson game, but she gets to watch games. Yeah. I wouldn't want to. And going to games is great, but the older you get, the more you appreciate sitting at home, watching it on TV, and not spending the money, even. Because going to games is getting so expensive that it's ridiculous. They literally, this is one of my biggest problems with college football right now is the cost of going to games for the average fan. It used to be, it's always been rather expensive to go to an NFL game in relation to a college football game. Going to a college football game used to be like a $20 ticket. I'm talking about 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I understand, inflation, times change, whatever, but it's an endless money grab now. It's hundreds of dollars for a good ticket to a good game. The hotels jack up prices to ungodly amounts. We paid $400 for one night in a hotel when we went to the Notre Dame Clemson game back in 2015. $400 for one night. And believe me, it wasn't the Hilton that we stayed in. So at the end of the day, by the time we got the tickets and the hotel room, just for me and my wife, we're over $1,000. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. For college football, it's crazy. Doesn't make, and for a regular season game, nonetheless, it wasn't like it was a playoff game. So, and it's just getting worse. It's all corporatized now. That's the biggest problem with with college sports, and NFL's doing the same thing. Major League Baseball is doing the same. They're all doing it. So, but college used to be a lot cheaper, and it's just not. It's the same as the NFL now. The Sports Fury says that's what I always wondered, if it was more expensive to go to a college football game as opposed to the NFL. It didn't used to be, sir. It's a new thing, literally within the past 5 years or so. The ticket prices have tripled. Well, I can only speak in Clemson's because most games I've gone to is as far as Clemson, and I guess since the past 5 to 7 years, Clemson has gone, come into becoming a top 5 team, top 10 team every single year. That probably has a lot to do with it, supply and demand. I can't speak for every other school, but certainly the Clemson games have gotten way, way more expensive. Some seats are $30. Well, I mean, you can get a $50 ticket to a Carolina Panthers game too. Up at the very top. That's not my point. My point is the non-nosebleed seats. Anything that's not at the top of the stadium where you need binoculars to see the field. And then the lower you get down, it just gets crazy. I mean, if you go to a game, let's say you were to go to a Florida State Clemson game, and you were sitting in the bottom tier, and let's say you don't have season tickets. That's the other thing. Season tickets might be a little bit cheaper because you're getting a discount for buying the whole season up front. And Prince 6'1" has season tickets. He could probably tell you this. But if you just go, if I decide on a whim, I want to go to the Clemson game next week, and there's tickets available. Listen, I'm paying probably for a bottom level ticket, maybe 3 or 4 rows up off the field. I'm probably paying $300 or $400 for that ticket for a college game. That's ridiculous. I'm not kidding. When Purdue has Hazel, they tried selling $300 tickets there from 20 friggin' people in the stadium. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, who's going to pay that much money for a Purdue ticket where nobody's watching? No offense to Purdue, but I mean, let's be honest here. No one's paying that. Pete, we got a free place to stay. Got a vacation house near Clemson. Perfect, sir. I'm serious. I do want to go. We were having this conversation last night, me and my wife. She wants to go. We were trying to figure out what game we wanted to go to. But like I said, I'll get with you off air about that. Season tickets are the way to go. You can sell your tickets for the game you don't want to go to, but it's only do that if you can get a lot of games. Yeah. It's also a little bit of a hassle. So all of the Carolina Panthers games I've been to in the past, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, 4 years probably. One of my friends has season tickets. He has 4 season tickets, and he brings me and a couple of other guys to a couple games every year, and they're actually not bad seats. I mean, they're on the upper level of the stadium, but they're not all the way up the top. And I think he pays for them or like $55 face value for each ticket. But if you were to buy that same ticket as if it weren't a season ticket, that would be like $75 for a pretty high up seat. So, College Football Maniac says his mom bought 4 tickets for $220. That was good seats, not the nosebleeds, and that was like 2009. Exactly. And you're talking about a game at the Upside Down Cockroach in South Carolina. Yeah, Alabama plays the Citadel. Yes, they do, sir. Something tells me they won't lose to the Citadel like South Carolina did. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. Yeah. Right. People pay hundreds for Longhorn tickets just to be disappointed. While at a Fort Worth, they only hold $50K, and Ammon G. Carter Stadium gets their money's worth. Yeah. I mean, literally, the only reason that we were willing to pay, yeah, the Upside Down Cockroach. Anybody who doesn't know, Williams-Brice Stadium is South Carolina Stadium. If you go look at if you've never been there, or if you're not a college football fan, do Google images of a picture of that stadium, and from above, it looks like an upside down cockroach dying. That's what it looks like. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would have never paid that much money for the Notre Dame tickets. The reason we did, first of all, the game was on my 35th birthday. It was Notre Dame. No, they hadn't played each other in like 30 years. It was in Clemson. I mean, there was no way they could have charged $600 for a ticket for that game. We probably would have bought them. That's how much that we were not missing that game. It's pretty much as simple as that. Florida was terrible last season, but the stadium was still packed. College fans are the most loyal fans, if you ask me. Yes, sir. Falcons Fury. I just told you how much I paid for those Notre Dame tickets. We had a hurricane and a flood the day of the game. Here's a story. So the game was a night game. It was a 8 o'clock kickoff in Clemson. Of course, I live 3 hours away in Charleston. A hurricane's hitting. It's flooding. It's torrential downpours. The roads, nobody's on the roads. People are boarding up their windows. I'm standing on my front porch at my house, my old house, before we moved into this house. It was a one-story house, and there was literally water coming up onto my front porch, almost into my front door. I'm standing out of my front porch, watching water come up almost into my house. And we're about to leave, like in a couple of hours, to drive to Clemson to go to this game. So we start debating, like, should we leave? First of all, we had 2 dogs there. We were like, we're going to be staying in the house. Are we going to come back to our dogs floating in the living room? I don't know. To our house being flooded. I was like, look, we can't go. I told my wife, I was like, we can't go. And she's like, you know how much money we spent? It's, not refundable. Can't sell the tickets in Charleston 3 hours before the game, a few hours before the game. So I'm like, look, literally our house is going to flood. And she's like, so what? We're going to stay here and the house is going to flood? Or we go to the game and have a good time and the house is going to flood? I'm like, touche. We're going to the game. So we drove up. We were the only people on the interstate. I don't know how we made it in one piece. I mean, certain parts of the interstate were flooded even, but we made it up there. Ended up being one of the greatest games of all time. We were standing in ankle-deep water in the stands, in the stadium. The stadium could not drain water fast enough. We had, by the fourth quarter, water up to my shins I was standing in the stadium. And that place was packed. There wasn't an empty seat. Nobody left early. It was loud and ruckus. That's the passion of college football fans right there. If I would have went through all that shit and we lost, I would have been so pissed. But we won, so it was great. Yeah. Wish you was on Twitter. I could send this to you. Amazing. Florida was talented last year too. Florida's talented every year. Big difference between talent and execution. Ryan Stanfield says, look at Ohio State. They have loads of talent. Look at what they've done. Nothing. I mean, at least they've won the Big Ten. What? They've only lost the Big Ten 1 year since Urban Meyer's been there, I think. And they won a national title in the college football playoffs. So they've done something. They also got blown off the map by Clemson. Man, we only lost 10-6. Man, had we only lost 10-6 to Bama, I would be as Ma. What? Oh, okay. Marco Polo, are you drunk, sir? I'm just kidding. No, Pete, they won one. What have they done since? Yeah, they won a national title in 2014. And they've won the Big Ten every year except for one since Urban Meyer's been there. They lost the Big Ten once. The year that Penn State won the Big Ten but didn't get put in the playoff, Ohio State got put in the playoff over them, and Clemson shut them out 31-0. Yeah. But you can't say that Ohio State's done nothing when they win their conference basically every year. So that's doing something. I mean, come on. Give them a little bit of credit here. Falcons Fury says, God damn it, Lance and Jasper does not represent. He's an effing idiot. We'll go like 8-4, go Gators. Well, I agree, sir. Now, I don't know Lance and Jasper. I'm not going to even comment on him, but I do agree that the Gators will go 8-4. We can agree on that. But that may change. I'm willing to concede to the fact that I think that Dan Mullet, whatever, is a better coach than McElwain was. So it may take him a year or two, but I think he'll be better than what was there before. Ryan Stanfield. That's the only powerhouse they got in the Big Ten. Well, I don't know. I don't know, sir. I think that Penn State and Wisconsin are pretty good too. Not powerhouses. You may be right there. I'm not going to argue the semantics of this, but actually, Urban has the Big Ten twice. That memory foam soft 2013 schedule in 16. Huh? Well, he won the Big Ten the year he won the national title, right? 14, 13, 14. Didn't win at 15, won at 16, won at 17. What are you guys talking about? Yeah. Listen, I understand that your hate for Urban Meyer and Ohio State is blinding your judgment of reality here. But Urban Meyer has won the Big Ten more than he's lost it, and he's won a national title with Ohio State in the past 4 years. So I don't know how that can. I mean, how many teams have done that other than him? Clemson and Alabama are the only ones that can say that. So, listen, like it or not, Ohio State's been the third, at least the third best team in the country the past 5 years. So, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm not an Ohio State fan either, but I mean, you've got to. It is what it is, guys. I mean, the record speaks for itself. Seems like Michigan State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Penn State are all neck and neck. I do agree. I agree that, first of all, Michigan is a middle-of-the-road Big Ten team. And believe me, after this airs, after this post to YouTube and the Michigan trolls who don't like to come on my streams live because I own them, they'll come on my comment section and tell me I'm an idiot and say horrible things about me. But they have no leg to stand on. This is the real conversation we should be having, not whether Ohio State's overrated. Michigan's overrated. It's not even close. But they're going to be great this year, though. Just wait. Just wait. Because they went and stole a quarterback from Ole Miss. Ryan said we're finished, sir, but I'm just saying that if we have done lately. The only thing I like about Lou Prince is some of the mods are, I don't know how to explain it. All right, well, guys, it's been an hour. And listen, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me again for the second time tonight. There's a very good chance I won't be coming back on live for the rest of the weekend based on some things I got going on. If I get a chance to come on live either tomorrow night or Sunday night, I will. But if not, the next stream you'll probably see me on will be actually Tuesday. My new schedule starts next week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. So like I said before, write it down. Tattoo it on your forehead. If you tattoo it on your forehead, make sure you tattoo it backwards so when you look in the mirror, it reads right. And, yeah. But I want to thank everybody. There's too many of you to name for stopping in. I had a lot of fun. Time flies when you're having fun. And you guys, we've been on for an hour. It feels like 5 minutes. That's a testament to you, not me. You guys are the ones that keeps these live streams interesting, not me. I could definitely not hold it all by myself if I tried. So thank you to everybody. Miranda Dansby, Billy Dawson, Prince 6'1", Pac Fan, College Football Maniac, Falcons Fury, Josh and Sean from the Sports Fury. There's too many of you to name. My brain doesn't have the capacity to name everybody, but you all know who you are. I love you all. Have a great weekend. And of course, a great night. Pigskin Pete checking out. And I probably will not be able to turn this off because I always forget how to do it. Thanks.